Let's move on to the next rule. Where does this come from? Well, again, you can see the proof online using the definition of a derivative. But what it comes from is, remember, derivatives are just limits. In limits, we already had rules. One of the rules that we had was the constant multiple rule for limits. And what that was the limit of a constant times a function is that constant times the limit of the function. In other words, I know the limit of x squared. What's the limit of 3x squared? Well, it's 3 times the limit of x squared. You just pull that constant out in front, right? Well, because that's a rule for limits, and derivatives are just limits, the same rule applies for derivatives. What does that rule say? It says the derivative of a constant times a function is the constant times the derivative of the function. So likewise, what's the derivative of x squared? Well, we know that's 2x. What's the derivative of 3x squared? Well, that would be 3 times the derivative of x squared, or 3 times 2x, which would be 6x. So just keep that constant out in front is all that one is. I do want you to note the next one. It says, what's the derivative of a constant times x? Well, if you remember, x, the derivative of x is just 1. So a constant times 1 is just the constant. So what they're saying here is the derivative of a constant times x is just that constant. So for instance, the derivative of 5x is just 5. Okay, so let's give this a try, see if we can use our power rules, our radical rules, changing them into exponential form. Let's see if we can do example 5. It says, find the derivative of the following functions. Again, we are not using the definition of derivative. We are only using our rules. So what's the derivative of 5x cubed? Well, it would be equal to 5 times the derivative of x cubed. The derivative of x cubed is 3x squared. So sorry, I should have this written. Let me clean this up a little bit. You always need to write the derivative because we're not dealing with the original function anymore. We're dealing with the derivative of that function. So that would be y prime equals. So in this case, simplified, it would be 15x squared. Always put your answers in the final answer blank. How about b here? This is y equals 2 over x. Again, x is in the denominator, and we can't have that. So this is the same thing as 2x to the negative first power is what that would be. So now if we want to find the derivative, that would be y prime. That would be equal to 2 times, now the derivative of x to the negative 1 would be negative 1, x to the, well, negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. We can't leave it like that, though, because it has a negative exponent. 2 times negative 1 is a negative 2, and then we have to throw the x into the denominator because of the negative exponent. So we would end up with negative 2 over x squared. Negative 2 over x squared. Okay, let's go on and let's look at c. c is f of t equals 4t squared times 5. What you really want to see this as is 4/5 times t squared. Right, it is just a constant multiple. This isn't a fraction. It is just a constant multiple. So we can use the constant multiple rule and the power rule together. The derivative of this would then be 4/5 times the derivative of t squared. Well, that would be 2t to the 2 minus 1, which is just 1. So that's just the derivative of t squared is simply 2t in simplified form. But we need to simplify this. 4 times 2 is 8. So we could either write this as 8/5 t or 8t over 5. I don't care which way you write it. Totally up to you. The original way wrote it, if you write it how the original problem was written, you'd write it as 8t over 5. You're going to see me write both of those this semester. It truly doesn't matter which one of those you do. I'm just going to write 8/5 t, just because I'm thinking about that as a constant multiple. Let's look at d here. It says y equals 2 times the square root of x. Again, anytime you have a radical, you want to convert that to exponential notation. So in exponential form, the square root of x is the same thing as x raised to the 1/2 power. So if I want to find this derivative, it's a constant times a function. So the derivative is the constant times the derivative of that function. So 2 times x to the 1/2 would be 2 times the derivative of x to the 1/2. Well, the derivative of x to the 1/2 would be 1/2 x to the, well, it would be 1/2 minus 1. Again, please, 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 use your calculator when you're subtracting fractions. 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2. We need to do some cleaning up here. First of all, 2 times 1/2 is just 1. But then we have x to the negative 1/2. It can't be a negative power, so we have to throw it onto the bottom. So this would be 1 over x to the 1/2. And then since I started in a radical, I need to end in a radical. So this would be 1 over the square root of x. So what's the derivative of 2 times the square root of x? The answer is 1 over the square root of x. Okay, let's keep on moving. Says, find the derivative of the following functions using parentheses to find the derivative. So I want you to look at 6a and b. 6a says 5 over 2x cubed. 6b says 5 over 2x cubed, but it's the quantity 2x cubed. So what's the difference between those two? And the answer here is parentheses means everything. You've got to understand what are the parentheses here, okay? So what in A, where it says 5 over 2x cubed, what we need to do is bring x to the numerator. Well, you only bring the x to the numerator, so the 5/2 is still the constant multiple, but because you brought x to the 3 up to the numerator, that would be x to the negative 3. So notice that 2 stayed down below because it was not in parentheses. So if I wanted to find the derivative of this, y prime, this would be 5/2 times the derivative of x to the negative 3. Well, drop the power. That'd be negative 3. X to the negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. Okay, again, I'm not done. I need to do some simplification here. 5 times negative 3 would be negative 15. And then there's a 2 on bottom. That stays on bottom. And then the x to the negative 4, we have to move down to the denominator because it has a negative exponent. So that'd be x to the 4th in the denominator. So when you simplify this, you should end up with negative 15 all over 2x to the 4th. Negative 15 all over 2x to the 4th. It's going to be very different than our next problem. Let's look at our next problem. We have y equals 5 over the quantity 2x cubed. So only because it's multiplication, are we allowed to distribute the power. Remember, if there's ever addition or subtraction, you can never distribute the power. So this would be 5 over 2 cubed times x cubed, which would be 5 over, well, 2 cubed is 8x cubed, which the way we really want to look at that is 5/8 times x to the negative 3. Again, we can't take the derivative with x in the denominator, so we move it to the numerator and make the power negative. So notice I've done absolutely no calculus up to this point. Now I'm going to do my calculus. Calculus would say keep the 5/8, drop the power, so that would be negative 3x to the power minus 1, which would be negative 4. 5 times negative 3 here again is a negative 15. On bottom we have an 8, and then we had to move the x to the negative 4 into the denominator, making it x to the positive 4 in the denominator. So our final answer would be negative 15 over 8 x to the 4th.